Pokemon Legends Arceus. I freaking love this game. Pokemon Legends Arceus is currently the newest main series Pokemon game and has been out for a couple of weeks now, and I just wanted to give my detailed thoughts about it. I think it is safe to say that this is probably one of the best Pokemon games ever, and that's coming from someone with over 20 years of playing Pokemon. Now, I've played all of the main series games, plus a good handful of the spin-offs, including games, but not limited to, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Ranger, and a mix of others. And while all of those were really fun, this game just hits different. I would describe this game as a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild x Monster Hunter x Pokemon. It has zones you would visit like in Monster Hunter, with each Pokemon being exclusive to some zones, while the collecting, the crafting, and the traversing reminds me heavily of the Breath of the Wild game. And of course Pokemon being the main component and the Pokemon element. I just really think that this game works together. Now, I just want to start with some of my favorite things about this game. The first thing I want to talk about is how we finally have an open world Pokemon game where we get to control the camera for a good majority of it. Now, it isn't what I would call a true open world game like that of Skyrim or even Breath of the Wild to bring that game up again, but it's what I would describe as a semi-open world game. It has a hub area, that being Jubilife Village, where you will always come back to after you're done exploring. You will then get to choose from 5 different locations and explore each area to your heart's content. There are some places in each of these areas that are only accessible once you've progressed far enough into the game, thus giving you incentive to visit older areas even once you've unlocked the new ones. Did you guys know that you can play this game in first person? It's so cool! Okay, it isn't true first person, but if you hold down the LB button, you will get to go into first person and you can walk around like that. I just think it's really cool that you can experience the world of Pokemon from a first person view, and I hope that's something they keep in future games. Also, this game has a ton of detail, and I mean a ton of small little details. The first one I noticed was when I was walking around the Crimson Mirelands, the second area you have access to in the game, and I walked through some mud. And when I stepped out of the mud, the player's character's legs, and even Weirdear's legs when you walk through it with him, became muddy for a while. Also, in Alabaster Wastelands, when it snows, you appear to have snowflakes on you, or when it rains, you get like a wet sheen. There are so many small details in this game that I really appreciate. And don't even get me started on the different sized Pokemon. It is so cool that normal Pokemon have a range of size that they can be, and the Alpha Pokemon, oh, I love the Alpha Pokemon so much as well. I also really like how every townsperson has their own name, and even over time, after either completing quests or just progressing through the main story, the town evolves. New buildings get built, pre-existing buildings get additions, the shops evolve to become more extravagant. It really is just small details like this that make me love the game even more. I mean, even your own room gets some changes to it. The main one I noticed was the Pokeshi doll that appeared after completing its quest. I really like the fact that you can also change the moves on your Pokemon at any time without needing a move deleter or a move relearner. It's just a really nice quality of life change that I also hope they keep in future Pokemon games. Let's talk about shinies. I love that they brought back overworld shiny Pokemon. They had first introduced this feature in the Let's Go games, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. But they then removed it from Sword and Shield, even though Sword and Shield had overworld Pokemon. But not only did they bring it back in this game, they also improved heavily on it. In the Let's Go games, when a shiny popped up, you would not only need to see it, but encounter it and try and catch it before it left the area.
There it is! Guys, it's here! Guys, we did it! God!
In these games, if you see a shiny Pokemon, not only does it make an audible noise, but it also does its shiny animation in the overworld. And probably my favorite part, But once a shiny appears, you can save your game in front of it. So if you somehow fail the encounter, you can just reset and try again. This makes shiny hunting so much easier, as you can save before you try and catch it or battle it, and that even allows you to try and catch it in whatever ball you want to catch it in. Speaking of balls, speaking of Pokeballs, I really like the 3 different types that they have in this game. They did reduce it from however many there were, just down to 9. Now, you have your basic balls, the Pokeballs, Great Balls, and Ultra Balls. Those are standard, those have stayed the same. However, next you have balls that work better if the Pokemon don't know that you're there. These being the Heavy Ball, the Leaden Ball, and the Gigaton Ball. And then you have the balls that just fly fast. The Feather Ball, the Wing Ball, and the Jet Balls. These 3 types of balls just make it easier to understand what they are meant to do and who they are meant for, and might I add, I love all the designs for these balls. I think they look really cool, and I'm looking forward to see if they add any more in. Let's go ahead and move on to boss fights next. The boss fights in this game were all very enjoyable. There were some that are a bit more annoying than others. There's... Yeah, but they were all a breath of fresh air. Now, I enjoy games like this that have boss fights, games such as Dark Souls or even Breath of the Wild to bring that game up again. So having boss fights like this added to the Pokemon games is just really cool. This game really made Pokemon games enjoyable again, even more enjoyable than I've already found them. I have read multiple accounts from people online who said that this was their first Pokemon game ever, and some of these guys were even older than I am or those commonly associated with the Pokemon community. There are a lot of other things I really like about this game, but it would make the video way too long. So if you do want to hear all my initial thoughts about the game, check out my playthrough. A link to that playlist will be in the description. However, now that I got the praises out of the way, I want to talk about some things that I noticed while I was playing that really could have been better. So, this I noticed during the Avalugg fight. And during the Avalugg fight, there was a huge FPS drop towards the end of the fight. And then the rolling or the dodging in this game, I thought could have worked better. There were times during both the Avalugg fight and for me the Palkia fight where you would get hit by one attack and then you would get stun locked into another 2 or 3 attacks because either the rule was on cooldown or your inputs were delayed, so as soon as you were out of that stun, it would roll again right into another stun. Another thing I noticed was that if Pokemon were not right near you, especially those with a lot of movement, such as the flying Pokemon in this game, the Pokemon in the air, their animations would be very clunky. Like, instead of it being the 30 frames or however many frames a second it was like 5. So instead of a smooth animation, it would just like cycle between 5 different images of the wings or body being in a different location. I also want to talk about battling in this game. Now, I know battling wasn't the main focus of this game, but there were some required trainer battles. I felt like some of the battles were too easy, and others were just rather annoying. Now, I understand the easiness of the battles, given that the people just started working with Pokemon, so I can understand why they wouldn't be the best. But even then, I do still have some issues with the battling in this game. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love the addition to the Agile style and the Strong style. But only when I use it. As cool as it is, battles can be a little weird. Some trainer battles, it's a 3v1. Other trainer battles, it's a 4v1. In fact, I was fighting 4 Pokemon a little earlier, and I got attacked 12 times on 3 different Pokemon before I even had a chance to attack once. It felt a little unfair to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I did get a little irritated because of it. I feel like the battling needs a little bit more work if they were to continue this type of gameplay, and I hope they do work on it and evolve it, because I really like what they are doing with it. So in short, I really love this Pokemon game. Pokemon Legends Arceus has brought a breath of fresh air to Pokemon games again. A breath I'm sure we can all agree was needed. For 25 years, Pokemon, or at least the main series games, have followed the same structure, so I'm glad that this game has done so well. I mean, within the first week, I think it sold like 6.5 million copies or something, which is just absolutely insane, especially right after the holiday season. I've talked about this on stream before, but with this game doing so well, I hope they do more Legends-type games. I mean, they have so much they can work with. Some ideas being, go back to Generation 6 to the Kalos region, and we can interact with the Pokemon War, whether it's during the Pokemon War or immediately after. Or even Gen 5, the Black and White games. Finally get to see what the original dragon looked like, the combination of Kyurem, Zekrom, and Reshiram. Or even go back to Generation 8, Sword and Shield, the Galar region, and get to see the original Darkest Day. There are so many possibilities that would be very enjoyable. So I really am hopeful for the future of Pokemon, and I hope they do continue with these Legend-style games. Anyways guys, those are some of my thoughts thus far. If you do want to hear more of my thoughts, let me know in the comments down below, and I can probably make another video on this. But anyways guys, that's all for this one. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!